people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, popes, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. And that's why woe is us. And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what shit will be peddled for truth on this network. So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. But man, you're never going to get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you that Kojak always gets the killer and that nobody ever gets cancer in Archie Bunker's house. And no matter how much trouble the hero is in, don't worry, just look at your watch. At the end of the hour, he's going to win. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely
dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous.
Dangerous to our democracy.
Dangerous.
extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Extremely
Dangerous.
Hello, Wake Up Media TV followers. It's me, Howard. And today I'm going to do another episode of the Wake Up Yakima Show. Today's episode is number 48, and today's date is October 1st, 2025. And what I want to get into a little bit first is, I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit upset about the NFL, and I'm thinking they're going to lose a lot of people this Super Bowl season. I don't know if you've known it, but they made some guy named Mad Bunny or Bad Bunny, and I'll get you pictures to show you this guy. And what I just don't get what they're doing. First, they put transgender cheerleaders out on the field. That just disgusted me, and I was going to start watching football again this year until that took place. I even picked a new team I was going to follow. But nowadays, I'm not doing it. If it's gone woke, it isn't for me. And if you're transgender, it isn't for me. So having said that, I'm not going to say anything more about the NFL. I think it needs to be boycotted. I think that Roger Goodell needs to be replaced. I think he is assassinating the NFL right now with all of his transgender BS. So bring attention to my opening, my little video where the guy's screaming, you need to turn your TV off and all that stuff. I actually took out all of the descriptive terminology from my intro. I'm no longer going to be using the term snowflake or soy boys or libtards or any of that stuff. And the reason is because looking back, I've been actually not doing things the right way. Charlie Kirk actually did things the right way. He fought with grace. So from now on, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use any of them derogatory terms to describe people that I'm not seeing eye to eye with. I instead will reach out with them and pray for them and hope that they do someday see the light. Now, I did say something. Now I'm going to get started. I did say something about the NFL earlier about this nitwit. What is it? Bad. Oh, I just used a descriptive term. I'm sorry. I'm going to still use the word nitwit because I'm thinking that's okay. And I'm thinking everybody on the left, or 75% of them anyway, are nitwits. So I think it's an appropriate term. Well, anyway, this guy, Bad Bunny, that the NFL has tapped for this year's halftime show is absolutely cringe to me. But anyway, I went and I found up a Newsmax clip. It's about 4 minutes long. I'm going to give you that clip just so you can see who he is if you don't know who he is. And they tell you exactly who he is and what he does. So enjoy the clip.
We have to start with Bad Bunny. So I'm sure a lot of you people probably don't even know who that is. Yeah, so he's on your screen right now. He's the Puerto Rican singer who's now been tapped to headline Super Bowl 60's halftime show. So it's an interesting choice, to say the least, considering Bad Bunny, who supported Kamala Harris, refused to tour the United States recently because of President Trump's immigration policies. Bad Bunny saying, quote, but there was the issue of, like, ICE could be outside. In other words, he was worried ICE agents would be waiting for fans outside of his concerts to just snatch up illegals. He also does all of his songs in Spanish. And in case you didn't know, the company owned by rapper Jay-Z produces the halftime show. And the inclusion of Bad Bunny has some people praising the NFL. They're actually hoping the Bad Bunny turns it into a political statement. Allison, I don't want politics and sports. I am so tired of it. People watch sports to escape from what's going on. And again, the NFL, I thought this was like America's sport. And now we've got someone, who does all of his songs in Spanish. You didn't even know who he was.
I didn't. I thought Bad Bunny was a girl.
Yeah.
And I know my kids keep me up to date on all of the music. And last night, if you watch Rob Finnerty, he called him Mr. Bunny and did a whole segment on it. So if he does turn this into political, this is it for the NFL. You would think that they learned their lesson after all of the issues that they've had. So as you mentioned, so this guy canceled his entire U.S. tour because he said he's afraid of ICE. He's afraid ICE is going to be waiting for him and his concert goers outside his concert. He has been very vocal about not liking our current president. And this is who the NFL picks for their halftime show guy.
Yeah, this is where, I can't believe the NFL is doing this or allowing it, not vetoing it, because they've just recovered. I was in the White House during the whole kneeling during the national anthem flap. You had the teams would not come to the White House after they won the Super Bowl, and all of that nonsense that went on for all those couple of years with Colin Kaepernick and others. They finally recovered. People have kind of forgotten about it. Conservatives have come back to football again because it's back to being football. And if they go down this political route again, I think it's going to hurt the NFL, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to come back from it a second time.
I guess, but the problem is people keep spending the money on the NFL. People keep going to games. They keep selling out their games. But so you have to hurt them monetarily, and I just don't see people doing that, which they should. They should put their money where their mouth is. And it's interesting because on X, I was scrolling. I didn't even see a single positive thing about Bad Bunny. Did you guys see anybody saying, I'm so excited for this halftime show?
I did see somebody comment and say that Republicans don't like Bad Bunny because they're racist, which is ridiculous.
Oh, I love that word. It's my favorite word.
That card. But this is a family event.
Yes.
Kids watch this.
Yes.
And so I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, I guess they have to learn Spanish if they want to know what he's saying.
I mean, I don't care that he's Puerto Rican or that he sings in Spanish. That's great. But again, if you're going to make this a political statement, you run the risk. And I do think that the NFL was getting hurt in television ratings during the boycotts the last time around. Not much, but enough that they noticed. And we'll see if they have to do this.
But also, quickly, I do want to say, I wish we would have put up the photos of his spread. And I don't know what magazine he was in, where every outfit he was wearing a dress or a tutu or whatever it is. Again, political, just jamming it down our throats. And we're tired of it.
They changed their mind.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Okay, like I said, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but that guy does not belong on an NFL football field. Does not. And especially an American event with a non-English performing individual. Totally BS in my opinion. I say boycott the NFL. Now I want to get back. I want to start into a little bit of the government shutdown right now. And with the government shutdown, everybody needs to realize what was actually going on right there. The Republicans and the Democrats on the House of Representatives side passed a 21-page clean. What that means is there's no improvements to it. It was just the same exact. It just said continue on with the way that the spending is set right now. And like I said, the House of Representatives took care of that job. They passed a bill. So now it was up to the Senate. Now on the Senate side, all they had to do was basically create a bill that matched what the House of Representatives did, and the government would have continued on. But no, they decided they wanted to be greedy. They wanted 1.5 trillion. That's TTT as in Tom. $1.5 trillion for illegal immigrants, the people that want to keep doling all of our money out to the illegal immigrants. And they also wanted to pay for transgender affirming care for all of the mentally ill nitwits in the United States. So that was $1.5 trillion of additional spending that they wanted to add to the current budget, where we're already running a $2 trillion deficit. So it didn't make any sense to pass that. And that's why the government is shut down right now. But I want to show you a video of Chuck Schumer back in the day and what he and his responsibilities and how he did things back in a certain day. I think it was 1998 this video was put out. So enjoy this video.
This Chucky Schumer guy. Pretty amazing because Elon pointed this out. Once Chuck realized that importing voters was a surefire way for Dems to win elections, and once he realized that, hey, man, we get these voters in here and create a permanent one-party state in America, just like happened in California and New York, he became very much in favor of bribing illegals to come to America. But listen to what he once said.
This is an anti-fraud.
Okay, you can see there where Chuck Schumer actually had a different attitude about things back in 1989, didn't he, or 1998. He actually had a little different colored hair, too. He looks like, if you look at Chuck Schumer now, he actually reminds me, if you painted him green, the Spider-Man movie, the one where the guy jumped up on the hoverboard and flew all over. I don't remember what his name was, but yeah, his face reminds me of that Green Goblin guy that floated around on a saucer. Well, anyway, I want to get into a little bit of how the politicians, separate politicians, actually are discussing what actually took place. And I'm going to share with you right now a video with Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. And he's speaking with Caitlin Collins. And if you know who Caitlin Collins is, you'll recognize her as soon as you see the video. She's the one that was drilling President Trump back in 2020 about these questions, and she kept beating him up and beating him up and beating him up. And then he says, "You're a nasty one, aren't you?" Well, anyway, this is the gal that did that. This is a conversation between Mike Johnson and this Caitlin Collins. Enjoy it.
Let's see. Go over to the Communist News Network, and Speaker Johnson had the guts to actually sit there and talk.
Could be today. The president said that he thinks some good things could come from a government shutdown. What are the good things that would come from a shutdown?
Well, the administration has to make some very tough choices. They have to determine at the Office of Management and Budget what are essential services, what are the programs that should be prioritized, personnel decisions, policy decisions. Chuck Schumer has just given the White House unilateral authority to make those permanent decisions about programs that should survive and those that should be eliminated. So he's sort of walked into a political trap on that as well.
The president framed it as a good thing that could come out of this. You're saying it's a tough choice. That's not how he described it.
No, it's both.
Today.
There are good things that could come out of it. If you eliminate wasteful programs that we otherwise would not get Democrat votes to do, that's a very good thing for the taxpayers. But the harm that comes is from the people who need food assistance, medical assistance. FEMA won't be funded, by the way. We're in the middle of our hurricane season. If your health insurance or your flood insurance is lapsed, no new policies, no renewals, none of that can happen during a shutdown. It's real danger for real people. This is not a game.
Yeah, well, the president has previously talked about eliminating FEMA potentially before this shutdown happened. But can I ask you in terms of...
He wants to reform FEMA.
You're talking about the president could pick...
Okay, you can see that Mike Johnson's a pretty level-headed guy. And Caitlin Collins is like Donald Trump. She's just a nasty one anyway. But you can see he can hold his own with her. And the things that I've seen out of Mike Johnson over the last 3 years, because the Republicans took over the House of Representatives back in 2022 in the midterms. And ever since the Republicans took over power of the House of Representatives, you seen Mike Johnson actually capitulate to the Democrats a lot. And I actually wrote that off as being part of the plan, but I don't know. I mean, people tend to sway whatever way the wind is blowing, and he might be one of those fair weather people. I don't know about him. But anyway, I got another clip. I came across another clip. There's this news organization out there and another it's another broadcasting company called Lindell TV. And if you don't know who Mike Lindell is, he's the My Pillow guy. You see him all the time advertising his wares all over the place. Well, back in 2020, after the 2020 election, he got kind of blacklisted by everybody. He was debanked. They took his products out of stores and everything because he was telling people that the election was stolen, and all of these people didn't like to hear that. And you guys have heard me say before that the 2020 election is definitely not over yet. You have not seen the end of the 2020 election. But anyway, getting off Mike Lindell, this lady that's asking Mad Maxine Waters a question about shutting down the government and she's asking about the $1.5 billion. I mean, trillion dollars, the $1.5 trillion. And I want you to pay extra special close attention to her, and I'll actually clip it again and put it at the end of the clip so you can pay double close attention to it. Her smirk as she turns around and walks away, because basically what she did is she backed Maxine Waters into a corner, and Mad Maxine did not like it. So without any further ado, I'll give you the clip.
All of this is because they want to pay for the illegals. I love this from Lindell TV. They actually walk up to Maxine Waters, the predator, to see what she has to say.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, American
Excuse me, stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open, and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens?
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
You're
asking
divisive.
questions.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, that's
you're being divisive. No,
I'm
please. You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it. Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it.
And
Okay, that was a really cool clip. What it demonstrated to me is the reporter's ability to back her into a wall and get her to admit exactly what she was asking her if she was doing. And that was the brilliance of that clip. The next clip I want to get into, but before I get into that clip, I want to actually tell you, I actually this morning had a live stream going of news. It's on Wake Up Media TV news. I try to put on 18 hours of news every day. And at night, I'd like to just kick into documentaries after, just for you late night people that might want something interesting to watch. About 10 o'clock, I turn it over, or 9 o'clock, I turn it over to documentaries. And on Sunday, this Sunday, I'm going to be streaming the second 5 episodes of the documentary that I was playing last Sunday, and that was Europa, The Last Battle. So that the last five episodes, parts 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, will be playing this Sunday. And I might replay those another couple weeks in a row. So if you didn't catch them, I'll play the first 5 again the following Sunday, and then I'll play the last 5. Because it's like there's 10 parts to it, and it's like 10, 12 hours of pure documentary. So I don't want people to be engrossed in that long, but I will play 5 hours. And after the live stream is done, they become you can't see them. So because they would just eliminate them on me. So, that's how I get away with streaming them. For some reason, I get away with it because it's if I house the stuff. You can download the documentary on archive.com. You can find it. It's actually free to download. It's free to do whatever you want with. But for some reason, it's a narrative that they don't want in front of we the people. So once again, the second 5, it would be episode 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This Sunday I'll put on, and after those are over, I'll probably put a couple other documentaries that I have access to just for the later on at night. And I'm going to start doing the live stream news every single day like I'm doing now, and doing clips. And then once or twice a week, I'm going to try to do a Wake Up Yakima thing. So I'm trying to keep busy. I can't work anymore. I've been diagnosed with a terrible thing, and it's hard for me to move. So have fun with my entertainment. So this next clip is going to go into a video where they've caught a bunch of Trende Aragua or however TDA members in this building. And I wanted to bring it up to your attention because the other day I seen a clip of some kid on the internet, and he was being harassed by Antifa in one of the street quarters. And the kid that was being harassed said, "Dude, you better pay attention." He says, "Do you see that beam on you? It's coming from the sky." And I'm going to actually try to find that and put it in another clip after this. I haven't found it yet, but I just thought about it. But this is going to show you what is going on in these big cities and these gangs that are running them. Because in Colorado, I can't remember exactly where, there was one of these gangs that took over a whole city. They were taking over apartment complexes. And I did an episode about it probably 6 months ago. But it is a complete and total problem, and that is what these people are cleaning up right now. And I posted on Facebook the other day, at this point, if you're voting for Democrats, you are standing for illegals being in the country. You want crime in our streets, and you want sex changes for your kids, and you believe in woke and all of that other stuff. Just look at Gavin Newsom, what he's done to his state. And if you haven't heard the song by Tom McDonald, The Devil is a Democrat, you should go look at that video, because it calls out, it actually calls out Gavin Newsom pretty well. So anyway, this next video I want you to see, it is going to show you exactly what's going on in the cities and why they're doing what they're doing, because we have so many criminals, we have so many, and it's not just the Hispanic people or the people from the south of the border. We have live cells from jihadist countries that are in this country, say from Iran. I don't believe that whole thing is over with yet either. But anyway, just pay attention to this one, and I'll give you some commentary afterwards.
That some of this should have been caught earlier in previous administrations. What wasn't being done, in your view, that should have been done in previous years?
Well, you're aware of the CHNV, the parole programs that the previous administration was involved in, bringing people in. People here were allowed to sponsor individuals to come in from certain countries. As I said, we found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship. That is fraud. That's something that should have been caught. It's something that I know the previous administration was aware of how the sponsorships were happening, and no action was taken. I'm glad to see that we're taking action.
Some rappelling down onto rooftops of Chicago from Black Hawk helicopters.
It's hard to see, but there's a helicopter right there on this building, and that helicopter has just inserted snipers for the protection of all these federal agents you can see entering the building. What they are after, 6 particular individuals associated with Tren de Aragua. They say these individuals are responsible for dealing in guns, long guns and handguns, as well as drugs. The helicopter is now just taken off. This is really an unprecedented show of federal force. Almost 300 agents coming to get control of this building and the people inside.
They detained about 24 people, searching only apartments where no rent was being paid. So far, we don't know if they got the high-value targets they've been tracking. One guy did display a Tren de Aragua tattoo. But the new detainees are being held and processed at this ICE facility in Broadview.
A lot of raids taking place. Many folks going down. You can catch this from different news sources. This is from News Nation, a different thought process on this.
He led 300 federal officials to that apartment complex. Some even rappelled down from Blackhawks onto the rooftop in order to help secure that perimeter. Now, they were searching for suspected members of the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. Of course, TDA has been designated as a terrorist organization under the Trump administration. Now, it was the biggest show of force that we've ever seen on the ground here. We had agencies, FBI, Border Patrol, ICE, and ATF all involved here, and they were all looking for targets in that same exact building. It was a 5-story building. It was a tall task for them, and anything could have gone wrong, but luckily the operations went pretty smoothly. Preliminary reports show that about 30 illegal immigrants were arrested in this operation, some of them suspected Tren de Aragua. Now, we talked with Chief Gregory Bovino, who's running the operations on the ground for many of these ops in Chicago, and he had some words for people that are pushing back against his operations. Take a listen.
How about you live in the apartment next door to Tren de Aragua members that are trafficking and prostitution, guns, drugs, and taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way? Why don't you live next to them and then see how much of a Gestapo or a Nazi we are?
Great answer. And amazing, because I've had this discussion with folks I've shared with you before, for those that didn't hear. I've had friends who were against President Trump. They said that, well, we're from El Paso, and President Trump's the one that put El Paso on the map, and he's the one that brought violence to El Paso. Remember when they did the false flags there? Supposedly some guy went through the Walmart and shot a bunch of people up or whatever. The truth came out when several folks that couldn't speak English were speaking Spanish, and they were saying that 4 guys wearing black were running through the back of Walmart with guns. They did that to make her feel like she was in the right and that President Trump was this terrible guy, and that we should just open up the borders, and it's just sad that we can't be nice to these people, and that Trump's the one that brings the violence and brings the white guy to go through the front doors of Walmart to shoot people up. Stoke them all up and get them to think like that. And then I asked a simple question. Okay, you've got your daughter. Why don't you just invite all these people across the border into your home since it's just open market? Let them in. Don't do a background check. Let them in.
What are you doing? Hey, I didn't do anything. Hey, get the fuck out. You get out of here. Don't try to hit me. Get out of here. Well, I have
get out of here. Don't come back.
Get away from me.
You again?
Get away from me, sir.
Dude, get the
Where are you? You're pushing me onto the road.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let me move. Let me get out. If you're gonna let me get out.
Fucking walk.
Hey, sir, stop it.
Fucking walk.
Stop.
Walk, motherfucker.
What are you doing? Why are you so mad? I didn't do anything.
You did.
What did I do?
Walk.
I haven't done anything.
Walk, motherfucker. Do not come back.
Watch out.
You come back, I'm gonna fucking smoke you, dude.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm
Why?
gonna smash that fucking camera.
Stop it. Stop. Sir, stop it.
Stop sticking your camera in people's fucking face.
I have the right to be here.
Okay, did I say
I have the right to be here.
Stop.
I have the right to film. You have DHS watching you right there. Lasered on you. You have a sniper lasered on you right now.
I don't give a fuck.
Stop it.
Stop sticking your camera in people's face.
I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. You have a sniper on you right now. You have a sniper on you right now.
Okay, I wound up finding that video for you about the kid. I don't know his name. All I know is I remember seeing it. And I'm personally glad that there's protection for us people in the cities finally. It's been far too long. Even here in Yakima, it's not safe to walk parts of this town. And it's a sad thing because there's parks in those towns and nobody can use the parks except for the gangs. There's a park on Lincoln and 16th. It's right there by Ron's Coin and Burger. I actually broke my toe in that park when I was in the 8th grade. I kicked the water fountain by mistake when I was in a dead run. But anyway, I had to go to the restroom, so I pulled over there and I went into the bathroom and there was 2 people standing in that bathroom doing their drugs. And then I walked out and there was 2 or 3 more out in the park just sleeping. What the hell has Yakima become, people? We have to start speaking our minds. This place is a trash hole. And like I said in one of my in my posts and everything about people that are not patriotic, it's a shame that we have people that have come to this country and have not assimilated. I've said in posts before, immigration without assimilation is an invasion, and that is in fact what I believe. These people, they come here from other countries, whether it be Mexico, they come here from Iran, they come here from the West Bank. Well, not so much the West Bank, because I think the people in the West Bank are pretty peaceful people. I have friends from there, and they're great people. But I'm talking about Iran and all these, and look about that Ilhan Omar, the dipstick that married her own brother just to become a citizen, and now she's in the House of Representatives. And I'll say this out in public. I do not believe our government needs to have dual citizenship people sitting in the seats of our Congress, period. Where do their loyalties lie? And I also believe that out of this country, lobbyists need to go away as well. Because people that take money from those lobbyists, where do their loyalties lie? It's definitely not with you, the people that vote them in. We need to take control of our people, and that's exactly what the election was in 2024. Was a referendum to take this country back. You've seen what the numbers showed, but I don't believe those are accurate numbers of the 2024 election. I remember back a couple episodes, and I've been doing. This is the episode number 48. And I've been saying it an awful lot, that the 2020 election is not over. And this next that video that I put on Wake Up Media TV Clips, it's actually called Proof That We Have Selections, Not Elections. And it's how the Chinese Communist Party about took us over with a company called Smartmatic, which is a Venezuelan company. And if you really want to know who the Venezuela government is, he's going to tell you who they are in this video as well. They're basically a drug cartel. And Tren de Agua from the last video clip is part of his army, Tren de Agua. So listen to this next, go listen to that clip. It's called again, Proof That We Have Selections, Not Elections. And I actually posted it on Facebook too, and I'm going to be posting it on Getter, and I just started Getter accounts too under Wake Up Media TV. Getter and Truth Social. So I hear that YouTube is loosened up a little bit. I'm actually going to start uploading these episodes onto YouTube as well. I don't know what's going to happen. If they ban me, they ban me, but I'm going to start putting them on YouTube as well. And before long, I want to start doing live shows instead. And my live shows are going to be a little bit different than my Wake Up Yakima show. So, and also if you go to my Rumble page and you click on the join button, there's a red join button, and I can show you that stuff. But in another episode, you hit that join button and that'll put you into locals. And if you join that now, you'll be grandfathered into free forever live shows when I start going live. My Wake Up Yakima show is always going to be me talking about certain things, but my live show is going to be whatever me and my daughter want to talk about. And then once we start getting followers and people that want to come in and join us, we'll talk about whatever they want to talk about. And we'll give them free access to call the show, or even access to log into the show and talk with us. So, okay, the thing I want to get into next is the Trump RX thing. And I watched a big interview on this. And what it amounts to is Donald Trump has put an end to certain things that were taking place behind the scenes with our government and big pharmaceutical companies. In some instances, the United States was paying over 1,000 times more than other countries were paying for the same exact medicine that we were buying. And the problem with that is we were actually backing 100% or 90% of all the research that brought the drugs to fruition. So the problem is they're selling to other countries cheaper than they were selling to us. So this was a big deal, and there's bigger interviews, and I will go get the interviews and I'll post them in Wake Up Media TV clips today to back up this. But this is Donald Trump talking about what he did, and then there's a little commentary from And We Know. If you like the show, it's in the live stream today. There'll be an episode of it from today, and we know it's a religious based show that is conservative, and he really digs into things. He'll pray for you at the end of the show and what have you. So it's a really good show to watch. Once again, it's called And We Know, and you can find that at andweknow.com. You can find his show on rumble.com and what have you. I watch it every day. It's a fantastic source of information. And some of these clips that I actually used today are from yesterday's episode. So I haven't even seen today's episode yet. I'm going to wait for it to come up in my live stream so I can watch it. So anyway, this next clip basically just gives you a clip and a little bit of understanding what's going on. He gives you some information about Albert Bourla. And the more information that you dig into about Albert Bourla, who is the CEO of Pfizer, he's a terrible human being. He's responsible for millions upon millions upon millions of deaths from the Pfizer vaccine that they gave us for the COVID. My wife took 2 doses of that, the first 2 that were available. I took the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, so I'm no longer a pureblood. I think that's part of my problems that I'm having with my body now. Every single joint in my body hurts, and they say it's not arthritis. It's not. I went to a rheumatologist, and they proved that it wasn't arthritis. So the doctors, every time I go talk to them, they look at me like they're a deer with headlights in their eyes. They don't understand what I'm saying. So anyway, this next clip will get you into it. Basically, you're going to be paying a whole heck of a lot less for your medications starting soon. They put a kibosh on all the high prices. I imagine most insurance companies will get their meds for free. So that means you will get your meds for free. If you have to pay out of pocket, you're looking at anywhere from 50 to 80% off all the prices, and sometimes 100% off. So Victor Borla, as bad as he is, I basically think Trump pushed him into a corner, said, you're going to do this or you're going to rot in prison because of what you did. Crimes against humanity, him and Bill Gates and all these people that told us we needed to take those vaccines. So medications, and then you look at the Tylenol thing, about how the Tylenol gets through, actually eliminates the mitochondria. That's the layer between your brain and your blood. It's a blood-brain barrier. And that's how they actually reduce that so that they can get bad stuff into your system with shots and stuff. So you guys really should start paying attention to these people, and not just paying attention to Fox News, because Fox News is not going to tell you any of this stuff either. So anyway, without any further ado, here comes the next clip. I hope you like it.
All that, and the White House put this picture out to show you. They're lowering the prescription drug prices for Americans. That's what President Trump was working on. I'm going to show you some clips from that in a moment. While the Democrats were celebrating the shutting down of the government, they're all together taking their selfie. They don't care. Trump to announce the Trump RX site for discounted drugs and deal with Pfizer. He actually announced a multi-pronged effort aimed at lowering drug costs in the United States, including the creation of the Trump RX direct-to-consumer website where Americans can buy medicine at discounted prices and to deal with Pfizer to reduce the cost of its medications. Now, I don't want to show you a clip of Albert Bourla, the Pfizer guy who should be put away for life. I didn't appreciate seeing him in the Oval Office at all. Giving big hugs to Dr. Oz, I didn't like seeing that. He didn't hug RFK Jr., he just said thank you. And if you're looking at your screen, you'll notice a look from RFK Jr. It could be that he's just tired. It could be he's just tired, right? He's just been wore out by all the stuff he's had to go through. Or he's giving Albert Bourla the look of disgust, knowing what this man is responsible for. This man who's got remember, he's got that neck that does the frog thing where the throat comes all the way down like a ribbit, almost like he's a reptile. That's a look right there that can be put on a frame for folks to remember. This Bourla is responsible for millions of deaths on this earth. They announced that Pfizer is going to invest $70 billion. Pfizer said they're going to invest $70 billion to bring pharmaceutical manufacturing back to the U.S. and fund research here. So now the enemy will be closer by, is what most folks are guessing. Not everybody's happy about that, obviously. Dr. Marty Macri.
Spending, that is the increase in drug pricing, is the fastest and biggest increasing area of healthcare spending. So today's announcement has incredible implications for healthcare spending in the United States. And today marks the beginning of the end of the Great American Ripoff. And it also marks the beginning and the end of a great American tragedy, something I've seen as a physician at the bedside. Patients getting spun up into a financial rage, doing GoFundMe campaigns online, sending repeat reminders, asking people to donate, getting their churches to pass the offering plate from pew to pew, Sunday after Sunday, to try to get enough money to pay for a drug in the United States, a drug that's 5 or 10 times more expensive than the same drug in France or Germany or the UK. People get spun up, and it's a tragedy. Having cancer is hard enough. Getting spun up into a financial rage in order to try to get the money to pay for treatment makes it so much harder. 37% of people who go through cancer care say in the end that the financial toxicity makes them want to avoid or delay care in the future. That is, they're done with it. They're done with the system. That's how toxic financial toxicity can be. And for what? For what? So the U.S. can finance the R&D of the world? Well, that ends today, thanks to President Trump. So we want to see R&D. We want to see American pharmaceutical companies thrive. We want to see pharmaceutical companies that do business and manufacture in the United States thrive. At the FDA, we're doing our part. If you're going to equalize your price to that of other wealthy countries, we're not talking about Zimbabwe. We're talking about Germany, France, UK, Japan, other wealthy countries, the OECD countries. If you equalize your price, then we're going to put your future applications at the front of the line. A voucher to get a review in weeks has a market street value of about $500 million because every day is money when it comes to getting a drug approved.
I would challenge you after seeing that video to really reach out and look at what is really taking place in the Trump administration. Because if you're listening to anybody besides people like me, like I said before, I don't want you to trust me. Go look this stuff up for yourself. You will see that the picture is not as bleak as the ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, and CNN are leading you to believe. Everything that comes out of their mouth is Trump is a dictator. Trump is a king. Trump is this. Trump is that. His followers are nothing but fascists and pedophiles and blah, blah. I mean, look at the violence that's taken place. It's disgusting. This next clip that I'm going to get into is getting into a little bit of the ADL. And if you know who the ADL is, it's the Anti-Defamation League. And they are a pretty powerful lobby. Well, anyway, the ADL is currently taking people, and there's this guy, and I put a post on my Wake Up Media clips the other day of a debate between, who was it? Officer Tatum and who else was the other one? Basically what they're arguing, though, is there's a certain a certain thing that's going on with Israel right now, and that the leader of Israel is Netanyahu. And if you've paid attention to anything, they've got Candace Owens out there saying that she believes that Turning Point USA has been captured by Israel. Well, anyway, this next clip is going to start talking to you about the ADL. The ADL is, in my opinion, out there trying to remove your voice from you, because in some parts of the country, like Florida, if I come out and I say something about the Jewish people, I could be arrested. And in Britain, all you got, I mean, they're sentencing people to multiple years just for saying things like this. So what it all amounts to is they don't like the truth being told, and they don't want this, so they're paying for conservative influencers to go over to Israel, and they're actually paying them to actually toe the mark for Israel right now. So without any further ado, pay attention to this one.
Huh. Also, you guys know what we showed the other day, where basically they're asking the social media influencers to go out there and start controlling the speech more, and they want to take over X. And they said, oh, we're already going to take over TikTok. We're good with that because we've got Larry Ellison, right? He's going to be taking that on and making sure that everything's taken care of and it all goes our way. Speech goes our way. Well, former Trump campaign chief Brad Parscale is officially registered as a foreign agent for Israel, tasked with building pro-Israel content designed to sway the Gen Z. They're bringing Parscale to manipulate algorithms and flood platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and podcasts with curated messaging. Their goal, at least 50 million impressions per month, follows the Prime Minister Netanyahu's blunt admission on camera that Israel must wield social media as a weapon to get what they want. So very interesting there. And we just found out that breaking that the Israel's paying influencers $7,000 per post. Netanyahu referred this week to a community pushing out preferred messaging in U.S. media, and boy, are they making a pricey, princely sum. And so that's their government, how they operate. It's almost like a bunch of liberal leftists doing what they do best and trying to control speech. And that's what it looks like to me. What do you guys think? It's not a people, it is a group, and it is a government, and each government's got corrupt officials, and I definitely think there's corruption going on there. But be interested to see what you guys think about all that for sure. It's great to see the ADL made a change and took all their stuff down. Probably pretty embarrassed that they had that up in the first place.
Yeah, so on my Rumble page, Wake Up Media TV documentaries, I televised Europa, The Last Battle last weekend, the first 5 episodes. I will be diving into the second batch of 5 episodes because there's a total of 10. So you might want to check that out, and I will play them again. But anyway, it explains a lot of this stuff because of how the people have actually assumed the Jewish and the bad people are actually the Bolsheviks. And I've told you guys this before. The Bolsheviks are a satanic Jewish, well, they claim the Jewish thing, but they're a demonic Jewish thing. And I've said this before. There's demonic Americans. There's demonic Chinese people. There's demonic Canadians. So it stands a reason that just because you're Jewish doesn't make you automatically good. So if you come out and you talk about something Jewish, they label you an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. I have Jewish people that go to my church. But I do not like the Zionist faction, and that's exactly what came out of the Bolshevik War when they attacked Russia. So, and that's what this documentary is all about, Europa, The Last Battle. It basically tells you how the Bolsheviks have captured almost the whole entire world, and everybody is controlled by them. The Rothschilds, look them up. They are part of the problem. So anyway, this next clip that I'm going to show you has actually got something to do with Netflix. And what I want you to do is pay attention to what Netflix is actually putting out there for your kids. It's a disgusting thing. I'm not going to pre-program you. I'm going to let you hear for yourself, and then I'll give you a little bit after it.
What they've been pushing on our children.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Pugsley reminded me how important it is to live your life without apology. So I think I gotta give living here a shot.
Now, that's on Netflix, and it's called Dead End Paranormal Park. So you can see Netflix series Dead End Paranormal Park, Season 1, Episode 2, The Tunnel, and see that TV Y7? That's telling you this is rated for 7-year-olds and up. Now, I'm not sure why a 7-year-old needs to be introduced to trans ideology.
Now, I don't subscribe to Netflix personally, and I probably will never do it again, but that's a personal choice. But I refuse to let my children or my grandkids, because my children are old enough to do what they want, but I'm definitely not going to let that be accessible to my kids, my grandkids actually. I mean, I think it's just disgusting, the transgender thing in general, the thing that they're corrupting our kids with, and they're doing it to kindergartners now. People that are just starting school, they're when they're supposed to be learning counting and arithmetic and ABCs and all that other stuff, they're pumping them full of bullcrap saying there's 150,000 different genders and they need to be concerned with which one they are. I'm 59 years old. I never put up with that shit. And 30 years ago, transgender never existed. And the only transgender that did exist that I knew of was the guy from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Transylvania Transvestite. That was the only transgender I ever knew of. So anyway, this next clip that I'm going to get into it is, if you know anything about big tech, it's Palantir. Palantir was the one that actually, one of the ones that brought J.D. Vance into the picture, because he's friends with, who is it? I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I did a big episode on it when he's a big tech guy. And that's who brought, pretty much who brought J.D. Vance into the picture, was big tech. And this is why I'm really concerned about J.D. Vance later on in life, because he might be one of those Manchurian candidates that kind of slip in the office, and when they get in, they do their own kind of thing. But like I said, this next video, it actually gets into a little bit of digital ID and digital currency and the horrors associated with that practice. So without any further ado, here comes your next video.
We move on.
This thing out, y'all. This is crazy.
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Nah, I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
So, of course, that information.
Okay, I'm done with this show. We're up over an hour right now. I got one last video that I'm going to bring to you. We've touched on a little bit of the jab. I mentioned it a little bit today. This last video is done in like the Star Wars theme, where the credits go at the beginning. And if you want, you can actually slow this down and pause it. It is a steady stream of side effects from the COVID vaccine. So anyway, enjoy this last video. It's going to be the last thing. You won't see me again. I'm going to sign out for the day, or for this episode. Thanks for watching episode number 48 or 58 or whatever the hell it is. It's number 48. And thanks for coming in. Remember to like this if you like it. Just to do the thumbs up on it, or actually like it on Facebook. On Rumble, you can actually follow Wake Up Media TV, or the substations. I have Wake Up Media TV clips. I have Wake Up Media TV, the Wake Up Yakima show, which you're watching now. And then I also have Wake Up Media TV documentaries. And there's a couple other things. There's one there called Wake Up, which is my daughter's show, which you might like. It's not actually a show. It's just a bunch of mind-opening things that she puts on. Other than that, have a great day. Love you all. Thanks for coming in and watching my show. Please give a follow and share, because I like to get this thing going to where I can do a live show eventually. And at any rate, you guys have a great one. And God bless you all. And always remember, Christ is King.
Pfizer, mRNA COVID vaccine, adverse events, and it's got a list. If you're looking at your screen, acute kidney injury, there's one. I mean, there are just so many that go so fast across the screen like a Star Wars movie. The side effects from Pfizer medication. Ammonia, abnormal.
3 days later.
3 days later, it's still running. All of the side effects from Pfizer. Venous thrombosis in pregnancy. Vertebral artery thrombosis. I mean, there's just some that they have listed there, but somebody put this together. They took the time to type it up.